So is there a red wine from Italy that you must be drinking but may never have heard of? We're gonna dive in, we're gonna give you all the details, all the info you need to know, and tips for finding a great bottle of Aglianico. Welcome back to Drinking It In. I am your host, Chris Casara. We're here to help you know more and drink better. And today we're exploring Aglianico. Sometimes it's called the Barolo of the South. That nickname may sound silly in a way, but it is valid to me, and a label that can raise its profile in the wine world. It is a grape known for structure and complexity and a unique personality. And we are going to sip on this wine eventually in the next video as we talk through the different regions or DOCs and give you specific producers to target. I'll also give you some food pairings, right? So stay tuned for those. The different regions within Campania, right? They have some fairly distinct price tiers. So I'm gonna give you, different tiers, right? Spots to start if you're a beginner, as well as some options for your cellar if you're already familiar with the grape. When you think of red wine in Italy, the first two grapes that come to mind are usually Nebbiolo and Sangiovese. They're famous for good reason, right? Nebbiolo because it is the grape in Barbaresco and Barolo wines, and Sangiovese because it's the grape in Brunello di Montalcino and Chianti. And in this man's humble opinion, Aglianico should be in the conversation around famous red wines from Italy. But due to a few reasons, right, it hasn't reached a lofty status that provides opportunity for us. So number one, it's uncomfortable to pronounce. Aglianico is how you pronounce it, and complex pronunciation can turn people off. It's the main reason I still think that Greek wines are not more popular, especially in the US. Number two, it needs time and patience. And more so, that's what it's built its reputation on. Now, these wines can age for 10 to 20 years, and they are big. They are full-bodied. They have a lot of tannins. They have acid, and they generally have a lot of alcohol. So if you're looking for a pop and pour wine on Wednesday night, you need to choose a specific option, like this one. This one would be perfect for a Wednesday night. And hopefully, I'm going to pop it soon, and we're going to see what it's like. Producers now, right, are making more easy drinking options, so that old reputation of needing 10 years in a cellar is going away. I think winemakers finally realized they needed to offer something for the everyday drinker and for a younger generation. Number three, these wines are still not too easy to find, right? We need to demand more Aglianicos in the marketplace. And why is that? Because they're delicious, right? I've already said that. But what aromas and flavors are you going to get when you open a bottle of Aglianico? So usually, right, you're in the black and dried red fruit character from a fruit perspective. So think plums, blueberry, blackberry, black cherries, and maybe something that's a red fruit but dried, like a dried strawberry, dried cranberry. Earthy components like soil, mushrooms can be here, and some of my favorites have a meaty character. Now, if you're lucky, there are also some spice notes, nutmeg, cinnamon, you can get some smoke, you can get some coffee, you can get chocolate, you can get a lot of licorice. There are a lot of possibilities. That was quite a list. So for those who can get lost in the aroma of a glass of wine, these wines, you're gonna gravitate towards these wines. Italian wines don't do you any favors in terms of giving you clues as to what may be in the bottle that you purchase. So if you go buy an Aglianico, how do you project what could be in your bottle and increase your chances of success? After all, right, if you get a small win, that's going to create some momentum and you're going to keep coming back for more. Okay, Tony Robbins, enough with the motivational speech. Let's move on to the DOCs and DOCGs. Terrassi. Right? The wine is minimum 85% Aglianico. It can be blended with small amounts of other grapes like Barbera, Piedroso, or Sangiovese. In Terrassi, you've got specific aging requirements, minimum of 3 years. 1 in the barrel. And if you're producing a Reserva, it's going to be a 4 and 18. Now the price is $25 to $150. That's not shocking, but if you're looking to cellar, time to let that acid and tannin settle down, Taurasi is a place you're going to want to look. It also seems like some wineries wait to release their wines until they're more ready to drink. So unlike Brunello and Barolo, there aren't like really hard and fast release rules. So it does vary. So keep an eye out. Now, Taurasi wines can sometimes add in a floral component. I don't think I listed flowers when I went through the initial profile a few minutes ago. So that is something to look for, especially if you buy a Taurasi, or especially if you're looking for that in the wine. Next on the list, Aglianico del Taberno. This wine has to be 100% Aglianico. So the aging for this one is a minimum of 2 years, 3 years with 12 months in barrel and 6 months in bottle for Reserva. The prices for these can be from 15 to 35. They're generally higher in acid and lower in tannins, considered a bit rustic, right? So it could be why they're generally well priced. But the Taberno wines will be a little more tart and have earth and dried herbs present as well. Aglianico del Vulture. That's Vulture to you. But I see vulture on the label. I think big bird. I'm buying, right? But let's come back into reality. These wines are 100% Aglianico. Aging is 1 year. In 2010, they created Superiore and Reserva classifications. Superiore, minimum of 3 years aging with 12 months in the barrel and 12 months in the bottle. 5, 24, and 12 months for the Reserva. Price range 15 to 50. These are more a style that's led by fruit, right? Blackberries, black cherries, plums, some of those earthy coffee-ness. I tend to lean here for stocking my cellar, but that's just me, right? Irpinia Aglianico, new since 2005. These are more, think of these like an IGT, 70% Aglianico that you can go up to 30% in other grapes. Prices $15 to $30. So like the Toscana IGTs, those lovely wines in Tuscany that don't meet all those strict criteria, that's the equivalent here. So if you're looking for an Aglianico for a pizza or pasta, charcuterie board, this will be the one you really want to go after. So I'm going to talk about my favorite producers in a moment, but let's at least give you some foods to focus on when you are serving Aglianico. No scallops, right? Just like Cabernet Sauvignon, Aglianico is going to murder a scallop. Go for big dishes, right? Big ragouts and beef stews, braised short ribs, grilled lamb, mushroom risotto. Those types of dishes can be really great with Aglianico. The Aglianico del Taberno, those wines are great. Delightful with lasagna, anything with sausage, like sausage and peppers. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't drink a Taurasi with a lasagna, but Taurasi is the biggest of the wine, so it's gonna be better with the heavier meat dishes. But like my rule on pairings is don't overthink it. Also, Aglianico is just a great wine to have with aged cheeses, right? That's where I mentioned the charcuterie before, but Grana Padano, aged Pecorino Romano, aged Parmigiano Reggiano, and it's great. Now, so some of my favorite producers to look for. I'm gonna label each with sort of like a cellar or an everyday drinking label as well. So number 1 on the list, Mastro Berardino. So they are on the 10th generation operating this estate. The Radici Taurasi Reserva is like the trophy wine of the category. You'll have to pay for it, but it is delicious. Number 2, Foodie di San Gregorio. So this can be a cellar or an everyday. They make a rubrato for Wednesday night. And then if you want to buy their Monte Vergine, that's something you cellar. Number 3, Quinto Decimo. This is definitely a cellar option. These are expensive, but if you have the budget to get some of these into your cellar and you can find them, do it. They're a little harder to find. Number 4, Elena Fucci. Cellar or everyday. The Voltore Titolo might be one of the best values to sock away. You can buy, I think you can get that for the mid-20s, and you can buy a case of that and put it away. Number 5, Cantina del Taburno, Fidelis. They're every day. It probably could be cellared as well, but it's priced near the $20 mark, so if you buy a few bottles and you want to experiment with it, go for it. Number 6, Terradora di Paolo. This is I would say a cellar only. It's a great Terrassi value. It's actually run by a Mastro Berardino family member, but it's apparently the result of a family feud. Drama, right? Family drama. It's all over the place, especially in the wine world. 7, Salvatore Molatieri. This is another one to cellar. You can technically drink these right away, but I think they benefit from age. Number 8, Guastafaro. Great location in Terrassi, and up until the early 2000s, they just sold off their fruit, let other people make the wine. Now, Raffaele Guastafaro has transformed this winery into a force. It's small production, tough to locate, but I have seen it on shelves, but a good one to always keep an eye out. They do make an Urpania that is great for everyday drinking as well. Number 9, Grifalco. This is one to cellar. A great go-to Aglianico from Volture. That was a big list. Now I feel like I need to go find some wines for my cellar because I don't believe I've got any Aglianicos in there right now. I am like talking to you as if you need to understand this wine better so you can put it in your cellar and enjoy some really good cellar values. But here I am talking to you and I'm like, I don't think I have an Aglianico in my cellar. We're going to taste this guy in the next video. We'll do a follow-up, right, so we can see if everything that I just told you comes through in this wine. I realized I didn't mention Donna Chiara. They are another good producer. I don't know how that escaped my list. Maybe because I knew I had it here. It was going to be a personal reminder. I really need to get more organized on these videos. But I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, if you'd like more wine videos, wine knowledge, how to find values, and how to stock your cellar at home, then hit that subscribe button. It really would mean a lot to me. And we'd love to have you aboard.